Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Right here, my personal 1964 Karmann Ghia, and what this episode is probably, hopefully, gonna get this thing on the road. I'm down to, well, my favorite, electrical and putting seats in. Now, technically, I can put the seats in and drive this car, but am I gonna do that? No. I'm gonna wrap it up because I only have, let's see, today's Saturday. Next Saturday's the show, which would be the 6th here in Louisville. It's a Volkswagen show. The local club here, which I don't really associate with, puts on all the time every September. So this car will be there. I made a, for some reason, I felt like showing one of my cars again. I don't think the last time I showed in this show was what, 2016 or 2015, something like that. Anywho's and ways, this is going to be, in other words, a very highly late night and alcohol fueled weekend buttoning this thing up. I got a fuel gauge put in. I got oil pressure, temp sensor. Well, run the wires for those. Tachometer. Really not much. It's just a lot of tedious stuff. Got to wire in the binnacle lights. Got to do new headlights switch. And hopefully, if I have time, I got fog lights. Why? Because I'm an idiot. Let's just add more stuff to my plate. Anywho's, I don't know where we're going to start. Probably under the hood. Drive me under the hood. Let me get some flashlights. I completely lied to you. We're going to start by mounting a gauge. And I know, you can't see what the hell I'm doing, but I have, come here, gauge. One of these bad boys. Temperature, oil, and a voltometer, 3-in-1. I didn't want to like load this up super weird race car style. You know, we're not trying to be a poser here or anything like that, but I do want to know kind of the health of the engine when I'm running or driving. With that said, where am I going to mount this? I think I was going to mount it like right here. Yeah, that works. I'm just picking a spot. This car has so much holes in it. It's it would be easier for me to, screws. I should mount it from the other side, technically where I'm like sort of looking, right? I don't know. It's not like I have any seats to worry about. Yeah, you can't see me. Anywho, just listen to my Bob Ross of what the hell I'm doing. Currently I'm sitting on my butt. Right there looks like a spot. I mean, it's certainly a spot. But I like monitoring engines. Especially if you just dropped a substantial amount of money on one and have no idea how it's going to perform. Like I said, I haven't even heard this thing run. Well, I haven't even driven this thing. Yes. I can go there. Put another one back there. We brought all the hardware. You can tell this car hasn't been cleaned out since the last time I drove. By when I had the door open. I'm not ashamed. I don't care. Zippity doo. Zippity day. I think I can live with that placement. My leg is cramping up because I'm old and fat. All right. Wires through here. Boop. This bracket is, I think, one of the cheapest ones you can find on the eBay or Amazon. Its only job is it has to hold this gauge. Oh, don't crack the dash, it's mint. I'm kidding, it's not any of that. If it was green, it would be mint. Come on. You fit in here before. Yeah, I need a screwdriver because I'm an idiot. That checks out. Ugh. I did bring a screwdriver. I just flashlight. It would help if I used the damn thing. That's a door bolt. I know exactly what that is. Come back here. I refuse to get a wrench. I'm gonna get a wrench, and by that, vice grips. You might notice why I now have opted not to put the damn seats in yet. Let's just make it dumb tight, because it's cheap, and I don't have a spare. There, I can live with that. All right, gauge in. This can go away. I forget what the hell this does. It was probably semi-important, but I punch it when I shift. By semi-important, I mean, I have no idea. Ooh, those grips. I have no idea what this toggle is. I think it is for my lights. Or the side lights. Keep up. Gotta keep up with me. All right, next thing. Because I feel like doing the easier stuff. Boink, pull that out. I'm going with a digital dash or a gas gauge. Main reason being, I don't like the cable. This one sort of works. And by that, I mean, it does not. So, let's get that out. Yeah, my cable for that gauge is all screwed up. And, of course, I lost a nut. That's fantastic, isn't it? That can stay like that, that can stay like that. This is spliced into there, which is my light switch. All right, these are my light wires. Man, you can tell I just kind of slam stuff together with this car. Again, not the most proudest moments that I've done, but you know what? There was a port, and I docked in it. It wasn't really even a storm. It was just more like, yeah. All right, boop, fuel gauge. And these are, again, one, I think like Ghia, I run this gauge. It has, multicolor options. for it, so on and so forth. The main reason I run it is because it reads, what, 10 to 0 or 10 to 70 or 70 to 10. It reads, you can program it to read the correct for your under there float. Same thing, I don't know if, you know, if I was a smarter man, I would have put the gauge in first and secured it before I put all the damn wires on. Also, if I was a smarter man, now that I just realized this, I would have unplugged that harness. I do not mind working on early years, pretty much only due to the fact that there's not a bunch of crap here. You can kind of do whatever the hell you want to do. I guess is where I'm getting at. That sort of makes sense. I don't like how I'm doing that. I built this car a while ago, yeah. That gas gauge cable's all screwed up. I mean, it does still work, but it sticks more than anything. And, well, it only reads a quarter of a tank, apparently. Yes, I know you can adjust it, but I have two options, quarter of a tank or empty. Yeah, is there. That's quarter. That's all I get. So, the pull's all screwed up in this thing, it's fine. All right. I have to figure all this stuff out. I have plenty of things mainly fuse blocks and terminal blocks. Oh, you can't see. I got fuse blocks and terminal blocks because I am just, well, obviously going to make my own system. These things are pretty handy. Throw power to say 1. They come with these guys. Oh, it's the wrong one, but you could jump all of them together instead of making like multiple harnesses. So I got this. I got mini fuse blocks. If I need to run the mini fuse blocks, I like that they only give you one fuse. And I've used these before. Same thing. Throw power in, and then you could have fused outs. This most likely is going to be for fogs and binnacles. The other one I'm just going to try to clean up my harness, and that'll just be for headlights. At least that's the plan right now. That's fine. All right. I already snaked the wire through the car to pick up my signals in the back. By a wire, I mean multiple. Yes, the car's registered before it's even on the road again. Takes me back. All right, I do have a harness. But like I said, I ran all the way through the car already. This is going to pick up my, it's what, 4-wire is in here. It'll pick up tach signal, tach signal, oil pressure, and temp. Tach, oil pressure, and temp. Yeah, it'll pick up those 3 signals, and then I'll have an extra wire in here. The big thing is I need to make sure I have plenty of wire to go. That's plenty. Where I need to go. Right. That'd be more than enough to snake it. I don't care. Wire's cheap. Now I gotta slice it open, and we'll run there, down, that'll pick up oil and temp, and then I just gotta fillet stuff out of it. Without like completely destroying everything. There we go. All right, yellow temp, we'll do blue, oil. See if I can just pull the black out so I don't have to destroy this entire casing. Light pressure, these jackets crack, well, open up pretty easily, and once you get them started, you can just rip them. Doink. Clip that. Black, like I said, will be the tack. See how they're spiraled in there? Sometimes you get lucky and you're able to pull them out. This was not the case. So I'll go black, red, I'm just gonna have as a spare. I'll keep that up here. Obviously these are way too long, but that's fine. And then the blue. And the yellow. Harbor Freight. I don't even know what size I grabbed. Various sizes, so on and so forth, but you just throw them in and make it look a little bit better. What shape balloon animal do you want? All right. Hopefully this will go easier. Usually I use welding wire, but I don't feel like walking any further. So I just got some stainless safety. Good enough. Hopefully you will just pull through. We're already off to a good start. Just pull through. Before I completely shrink and dink this and completely screw myself over, just want to make sure that the runs are good because I can get to everything with that heat gun. Good. All right, now I can wire those guys. That, I can drill a hole and put a grommet. I think I got a bit set up. I do. Look at me go. Go as aggressive as you want. Pick a grommet that fits whatever random size hole you decide to punch in your tin. Red wire we're just going to leave dead and short. Short enough to possibly splice in later, but get that out of there. Tack wire is going to double back. That will run down there. Boink, black wire's out. All right, and that, and that, and that. All All right, guys, you don't need to see any of this. I'll show you the aftermath. I also need hardware because, well, I don't have any self-tappers. But that's not going to stop complete progress. All right, that's where my junction box is going to be. So we'll have power to that gauge under there. This is all going to be key on. Power there, going to run a power wire, lengthen this for the tack to there, and then lengthen that, which will work the fuel gauge to there. And then I'll have one spare for key on. And like I said, those are all going to work the gauges. Let's see. And then we're going to end up running another junction box just like that for the lights, except that one will be off of its own. That one will be one of these units. So I can fuse the headlights. So headlights, taillights, side lights, fog lights, all off that. Reason I'm not using the factory block is, well, it's really not doing anything anymore, I guess is what I'm saying. Plus, I really need to replace it. It's not the greatest shape. So that's, I guess, what I'm doing. I'm using some fuses in the block to run the gauges. That's a key-on fused line, so it's not that much of a load. But all the lights and stuff, they're going to be on their own own fuse panel. I'm just going to rob the 12 volt from there, so I don't have to worry so much if that block's going to act up on me or not. I got newer style stuff. So with that said, let me get this stuff wired in, and I'll show you the aftermath. Wiring, as far as the gauges go, is done. I do, like I said, I think I told you, I have a tack in this car. The tack that's in this car is just basically a placeholder. It's not really accurate. I think it's for like a diesel or something like that. But with that said, everything's wired. Don't worry about the mess, but you can see the block. The block is feeding from the fuse block, so key on power, and I have 2 extra spots in here if I wanted key on power. But that runs the fuel gauge and the tack. That runs the other gauge that tells me my 3 valves, which are, am I going to run anything over? Probably. Which are my temperature, my, made a noise, temperature, oil pressure, and voltage. So I ran it just to make sure everything works, but like I said, placeholder tack, I'll have a different one in here, probably not by time for the show because it's on order, but it, I mean, it does its job. It moves, so I know it's getting signal, in other words. Fuel gauge, new fuel gauge, like I said, electronic, all that stuff, and then that one. So you can tell 116 degrees, 1-ish PSI, and what, 11 volts. That volt's not really accurate because according to my timing gun, I'm running more, but also it could be off the signal that I have that plugged into. But key on. See, oil pressure comes up, voltage, charging, temperature does its temperature thing, tack sort of tacking, and the fuel gauge is fuel gauging. I retuned the carbs while I was running. Obviously, it has a hell of a high idle right now, so I just got to drop it. It's not a big deal because it's idling at 1200, not the whatever 6 that the CAC says. But I mean, whatever. It's there. It looks cool, and it's better than a clock that doesn't work. Next, I got to do lighting. So, got to cure all the wrongs of the past with all the electrical in here. I'm keeping the wrongs of the past for like the main runs. Just gonna do it. But I have switches because I don't have a radio, and I'm never gonna have a radio in this car. That's what headphones are for, or a Bluetooth speaker. I'm just gonna make a panel that goes in the radio hole and utilize that. So I'm gonna have three pull switches. I'm not using the factory because I'm not. 3 switches, headlights. I'm gonna have fog lights, or yeah, headlights, fog lights, and then the binnacle lights, which I got to replace that one. But they light up the numbers at the door. Optional if you want them lit up or not, obviously. So let me make a blank out panel for that, screw it on, punch some holes, and get all that stuff wired. Wiring, it's fun. We're After that, I think I got to bend the brake pedal over. Brake pedal's too far that way for that big old gas pedal. So I just got to move that over, and I might bend the brake clutch over as well, just for better driving. Because right now, if you hit the brake, you'll hit the gas as well. It doesn't matter. You have to be really sidestepped to drive it with that gas pedal. Not the end of the world. Like I said, I could put. Oh yeah, and also I have a clock in the steering wheel, so I don't care if I lost that clock. Don't ask. But all right, yeah. Let me make a switch panel for that. Cover up the radio hole, and well, I'll get right back to you when that's all installed and working. Because I got it. Like I said, I'm sorting out electrical that I did a decade ago for the most part, and well, making it better because I am. The problem is I'm trying to clean it up and keep it the same. So, like I said, I'm on a little bit of timeline here. Just trying to get this thing done correctly. I also got to secure this brake line down, which is not a big deal. That's the least of my concerns. It just sticks up some. But all right, let me keep it on, and I'll give you updates when I have updates to update. But yeah, side lights. I know you might have noticed them, but when they kick on and they'll light up the numbers on the door. You may be asking yourself, what's going on? Well, car's going up in the air, mainly because I forgot I have a sway bar to install. Do I need to install said sway bar? Nope, this has one. Why am I installing a sway bar? You may ask. Well, here's the thing. This is all Bondo. That's metal. You may ask, why are you installing a sway bar if you already have one? Well, the easiest answer is I bought one and I'm going to put it on. So, really, really simple. Let me double check I got the correct one though. That bushings. Yes. All right. Oop. Put those off for right now. Because this is a link pin, I just want to make sure I got a link pin one, not a ball joint. Yep, that'll do. That will do. So yeah, we got a girthy bar versus the factory one. Why? Like I said, I bought it, so gosh dang it, I'm going to put it on. Removal simple. Get your slice and dice and just zip the bands. Quick and easy. One slice and dice. All right. Then get your favorite screwdriver and pry those things off. Tree. Oh, and I also have to install, another reason the car's up in the air other than the sway bar, is I have to install different master cylinder reservoir. Because I'm still doing the, we have the, dual master on here, but I'm feeding a dual master with a single reservoir. So hypothetically, I blow a front or a rear line, it's going to drain that master, and I will ostensibly lose brake fluid. If I have a dual master reservoir, well, if the front blows, well, we're only going to drain the front, and I'll still have residual in the back, and vice versa. If I blow the rear, I'll have residual in the front. But sharing a master, not really recommended, or at least I really don't recommend it. You can if you want. I've done it. Most times I don't do it though. Easy to install. Get your new urethane bushings and straps. The 65, 50, 58 I did when we put a narrow beam, or when I put a narrow beam on. I used I'm pretty sure it's basically this exact same kit. Bigs go in the, just stay up there. With these things, the bigs go on first, lintels go on second. Onto your bar. You might need to put a little lube on it by that. Glass cleaner, just anything. Sometimes they'll slide easy, sometimes they're just a pain in the butt. It's just the nature of the doobly-doo. But get the T-clamps on. Get them to where I want them to basically live. And we'll cinch them down. Come here. It looks happy there. That looks happy there. All right. Send it. I'm gonna break something up there. I got my stick of justice doing stuff. I was actuating the brakes. All right, that's plenty of lube. Everything has goo in it. Perfect. Except now my hands are dirty. All right. Got to zip off the this tire just because it'll make my life easier. Also, when I pull that tire, yeah, like I said, ow, clip-on dual master, just sits there. Not a fan of them, but they're a lot easier than running lines, I guess is what I'm getting at. But what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take the tire off. Take the tire off, put that on, and I'm gonna check balance the tire. I'll just throw it on my tire machine. See how far out of whack it is. If it seems like it's good, I'm not even gonna bother balancing them. If they seem like they're terrible, I'll end up balancing all the wheels. I mean, just the, no, there's no, I was gonna say there's no getting away from it, even though I just said I was trying to get away from it. But really, there's no getting away from it. If it doesn't seem that bad, I'm not going to balance it. The car's not going on the highway, and it should be fine for city street driving. Now, if it's like, 10 ounces out, huge amount, well, we're gonna balance it. But like I said, I'm just gonna do one, see where that's at, and whatever, this one, because I'm taking it off. So let me get that master on. Real simple, you pull out those plugs, pop this thing on, call it good. I'll be back. Also, one thing, you do not need to, or you shouldn't need to, re-bleed your brakes when you do this. There's enough, as long as you don't push the pedal. There's, when you pull the lines off, there's enough sitting in the top of the, and it's basically like a micro reservoir, I guess you want to call it that. So take your lines off, pop this thing on. Wipe some of this stuff off. All right. I'll just show you real quick. Like I said, the same as that 58. You just take it and, well, bunk, plop it onto the master. Fill it up, call it good. Like I said, if your brakes work, you don't need to bleed them. You're not letting air in through there. There is enough stuff there. All right, let me throw my wheel over there, right here. Do a check balance on it, see where we're at. I'm hoping it's good, so I do not have to pull off all four wheels. I will if I have to, but if it's good enough, well, we're gonna leave it alone. All right, guys. Obviously, well, straighten up a bit. We are in the car. Seats are in the car. My receiver died yesterday, and it was just, you know, finishing wiring, nothing major, but everything works now. My fuel gauge is straight. That's cool. Everything works. Let's take this thing on the road. I have to move the 66 that's behind me, but I'll let this thing warm up. It is currently almost 10 o'clock in the morning on Monday, and I still haven't edited this video. But with that said, I think I promised a test drive in the last video. We'll do it in this one. So, I still got to do the binnacle lights and the, the number lights. Still have to do those, and, well, like I said, fog lights, but headlights work. So I got that going for me. Got to drop that idle some still, but realistically, it's good enough to drive. I might just drop it for S&Gs. So let me move the 66. Next scene, hopefully, you'll join me on the road. Well, that was short-lived. I don't know if you heard it, but I'm rubbing pretty bad on the driver's side. Exactly 10 o'clock. But we went backwards and we went forward. I did drive it. All right, plan is now I'm gonna pull this thing up, jack this thing up. At least I undercoated everything, so I'll see where it's rubbing. Hopefully I can massage it some. Fun of building a car. All right, guys, here is where I'm at. I assessed somewhat of the situation, and well, I don't know how it'll come up, but we are whacking right here. I tried beating it in with the hammer, and because of the way I overly engineered it, it doesn't move. So the next brilliant idea, if you notice the porter power, I am going to hopefully jack the car up, and I have 10mm body shims, bushings, what have you. These guys. Hopefully that's going to give me enough clearance. And I'll do the other side as well. But yeah, I'm just basically going to shove a huge wedge in. Oop. I don't even think I got anything up here on that front one. I think I actually never put a bolt in. Hold on. Because I can put springs in. Yeah, I don't got any hardware in that one. All right. So the only thing holding this car together is the back here is that pad and the floor pan. So yeah, like I said, I think the plan, however terrible it is I need to get some altitude on this. Ew, got it. It's such a dumb idea. Perfect. Come on, give me a little more. Well, that's bad. The entire body mount blew up. This is going great. Like, it blew up. It's as high as I'm going to get it. And I'm not going to be able to get a 10 in there. I think I have a 7. Or it won't be, it fits. That's the only good thing. It's just not going to be as high as I wanted it to be. Yeah, it's squishing right down. Shoot. All right, let me ponder. I know I have coil shocks. I don't think that I think it's going to make the car sit funny. And I don't have a way to really drop the bracket. All right, let me dig out those coils, and we'll see where we're at. All right, let me figure something out. This is a real pisser. All right. I hopefully have a stopgap measure. Stopgap measure. Plan B. Without having to completely redo this arch currently, we're going to shove an air shock back there. Yep. That is the plan. I'll put 2,000 PSI in it. Just basically delete the suspension in the rear for the most part. I'm going to pull the shocks, run the line, shove these in, run the lines. I don't know what the hell these are for. I just went on the O'Reilly's website, looked for something that I think would fit as far as length and math. So this is either going to work or it's not. I feel confident about this. I'm driving this damn car. That's all there is to it. But yeah, do both sides, put air shocks on, and then just basically bump the PSI to the moon. Sounds like a plan. I'll be back when I get these things on. Hopefully, we'll be ready for a test drive. All right, guys, that went here pretty quick. Like I said, they're mounted. We just got the lines ran. Woo! Teed in, goes to the body. Teed from that side. It's ran through rubber so that, I don't cut through with the accelerator cable. Snakes up this way, keep it away. It's plastic, keep it away from the heat. Snakes up that way and then just get, dumps right there. So, let me get tires on this thing, drop it on the ground, and hope we can drive this. Because like I said, I do not care if I do the moon tune with the PSI in this thing. It is, we are driving it. I am driving this damn car. It's T-minus. I have basically 5 days to knock this car out. 4 days to knock this car out. Yeah, you can see me. I'm getting really good at putting on and off these wheels. It's literally, the car has to be good enough to go 20 miles. That's it. I don't think it's that big of an ask. But this clearance is a problem. All right, guys, with 0 PSI in this thing, well, undone, no, I haven't added anything yet. They're on deflated shocks. I have 2 fingers on this side, and I have 2 fingers on this side, and it's already riding higher. So there's a bonus. The only good thing about putting air shocks in the rear of this thing is it shouldn't affect the ride height, as far as they're not strong enough to lift the car. However, they are strong enough to stiffen the car. Yeah, and we're at 0. All right, 40 PSI, it did come up some, not a lot though, but that, oh, I'm not even close to hitting. We might have had a winner with this dumb idea. Ugh. Ooh, we might have actually had a stroke of genius. Make sure to, keep that on. Don't want to lose all the air, but all right. So now the car is a little higher in the back, but it doesn't look stupid. That's all I care about. I mean, the car looks stupid regardless, but it doesn't look dumb. All right, let's try a test drive again. See, hopefully that was the worst of it, scraping tires. I gotta move that thing again to get this thing out, to put that thing back. I also gotta close an outro for that one, and will join me in this car. All right, be back. We made it out of the shop. Forgot to lower the idle. Brakes may need a little help. Also this seat, not really a fan of it. But we're stopping, we're driving. Yeah, that idle's way high. You can really hear those carbs. PSIs. Bonk. 50 PSI, apparently 91 degrees on the oil temp, 13.8, high ass idle, all good. I don't like the shifter knob, it keeps loosening. I kind of cannot believe I forgot to put a lower the idle. Yeah, that doesn't adjust. I gotta adjust these pedals too. She feels good. think I said I have disc brakes for this thing. Just haven't put them on. Bouncy. This stupid thing does handle. Gotta remember to be easy on it and not stupid. Not bottoming out, that's good. No scrapes. And she has power. First gear is optional. She has a bit of torque. Discs are going to be a must. Might have loaded her up a bit. Let's head back to the shop. Make sure everything's good. We're about 50 PSI, 145 on water temp, oil. Nothing crazy kicking on yet. Let's not screw it up on its maiden voyage. Plus, like I said, I want to drop that idle. This week is going to be basically driving this thing around like crazy. I mean, it runs. It's a car. Also, I don't know if you saw, but whenever I chirped at that stoplight, may or may not have been a cop there. back. No, I don't have my door chuck. I gotta get a door chuck because these doors will fling all the way open. Also, they're surprisingly heavy when you rest them on your shin bone. Anywho's, I gotta adjust the brakes. It's a little darty. With that said, I do have discs for this car, so they'll work to get me where I need to go. I might do another bleed. As you know, I've been fighting these things. I don't even know if those work. Probably not. With that said, we started this test drive at almost exactly 10 o'clock. It is now almost exactly 2:30. Yep. Oh, also an option that, younger generation don't know how to read. This style clock. Analog, with the hands. So, and Karmann Ghia, a working analog clock. You guys are killing me though, because I had to have that window up. The engine's great. The engine's great. It performed well. I'm just gonna, I'll probably unrack the Corvette and then rack this up on there and just do anything that I notice with it, like, adjust brake stuff like that. I could all do it on that surface rack. Or I might just re-rack it. Whew. I have 0.3 hours on this engine already. Yeah, I have to lower the idle. Sitting about 21, 23 PSI on idle right now. 163 on the temp. Immediately goes up. This is a damn good car. Damn good car. All right, join me on the big cam. Close out this episode. We finally got our drive in. And, well, actually, I'm going to have to rack it up because I got to do other dumb stuff to this thing. But anyway, finally got our drive in. Let me wrap this video up. All right, guys, capping off the episode on 64, Project Outlaw or what have you. The car is fun. That's it. Just bottom line, the car is fun. There's a bunch of things I need to do to it still. Not a bunch, just some cleanup stuff. I got to adjust the brakes, set the alignment. I didn't do any of that. You can tell the pedal's going down far. It's not air. It's just shoes not adjusted, so I got to readjust them. Typical. But that engine, money. It runs. It sounds good. I got to drop the idle. Not a big deal. But it did not miss a beat. The transmission didn't miss a beat. The clutch felt good. The brakes, yeah, a little awkward. But boy, this thing actually handles. I would push it harder if I had a better brake. But them needing to be adjusted, I wasn't going to go too crazy. But she will roll. Everything far exceeded my expectations on this build. About 3 weeks to do it, starting from sitting over there to, well, right here driving. We overcame some, technical difficulties, like an idiot who doesn't know how to measure and rubs. Air shocks, fixed it. Didn't bump once, or at least if it did, I didn't hear it. I got to double check just to make sure we didn't lose, do anything. But it was solid. I'm not sold on the seats. I might put different seats in it, but as of right now, they're supporting my butt in the air, and they're working. Those are like the cheapest ones you can get off the Jegs. Not, they're not fancy. It's not going to hurt my feelings if I swap them out. I don't know if I said this. This was never intended to be a budget build. Flat out. The engine cost real dollars. Also, the guy who built the engine, good on you. Everything minus the running part was solid. I mean, there's that. Because, well, has new carburetors on, new electronic ignition, and, well, obviously a different tune to it. But with that said, this thing is, I mean, I don't know how to put into words if you can't tell it. I like to talk. Being my car and knowing I can, obviously just jump into it at any time because it is reliable, it should be, hopefully, and just haul the mail or just, go to the bar. What have you. Oh, I got to fix that light, speaking of the bar. It's great. Also, this episode's coming out today because I haven't recorded it. Tomorrow's Tuesday, the 2nd. If you're in Louisville, this car will be at Barrett Bar on Barrett Avenue. Yeah. Tomorrow night. Have a bike night there, so on and so forth. I'm huge friends with all of them, or you know, what have you. But I'm going to drive this up there. If you're in town, swing up there. This is going really long. Anyway, capping this off. That's perfect. Capping this off. The car is great. I'm going to have probably one more episode on it. Just little odds and ends. Anyway, if you like this episode, whatever it came out to, like, share, subscribe, leave a comment. If you do, I promise you, we will chit chat as always. Thanks for watching, and hopefully see you on the next one.